back to our channel, my dear family and friends from high atop the mountains in northwestern Arizona. We are here back to broadcast again. Great to see everyone. I'm going to focus in this video on the idea of Tomorrowland. We are coming into Tomorrowland fast and furious. I mean, I've been calling it the Promised Land, but Tomorrowland might be a better description of it. We're rapidly approaching this singularity that Elon says. Hey, Benjamin. We're rapidly approaching singularity in terms of AI and its use. They're talking about replicators, about you'll be able to create anything you want. Hey, from Trini, my Trini friend, Osha Muhammad. Hey, Trini, man. Love and gratitude. Yeah, baby. That's it. We got this. I mean, it is so happening right now. It's unbelievable. Love and gratitude. That's the key. Things are happening fast and furious. Remember, Trump says that, hey, Ian, that the kind of the art of war is that when you make your move, you spring like an animal. You just go crazy. And that, in my opinion, is what is going on right now. He went and took out Maduro. Whether this was pre-planned or whether they were in cahoots together, it really doesn't matter. In the eyes of the world, this happened. Chase missed the margin call. Yeah, could be. I also heard that they just purchased or financed with the government. See, I think Chase is now working for the government, but they just agreed to buy a smelting plant for silver to smelt it. I mean, that's the the challenge. We got this. Nobody says well, thank you. Thank you, Benjamin. Yeah, but we do. We have this. This is everything is coalescing at once. It is just there's so much information that is just like spot on. Tomorrowland. This is the Tomorrowland they robbed us of in 1963-64 when I went to the World's Fair with my dear parents and my brother and sister. We stood online for hours and hours. We met people. We talked. We made friends with people that we later visited. They came to our house, but it was like we were about to come into the future, and the creepazoid somehow took it away from us. But now it's coming back. Elon is saying the singularity has happened and that AI we're going to bring back. They're not going to bring back, but we are going to have replicators. So whatever you want to make, whatever you want to create, it'll be yours. We're coming into the future, into Tomorrowland. This is so exciting. The king of banks has fallen. Right. And JP, yeah, I want 0 point energy. You're going to get it, man. We're going to get all this stuff, all the things that have been withheld from us. It's going to come raining down like gold will bring down the Fed, you bring down the bankers. Yeah, that's true, but that's like small potatoes, man. The death of the deep state, that's already happening in my opinion. Before I launch into this, I have so much good information tonight to share with you. But before I launch into it, I want to share with you a little kind of a twist on all this. Elon is saying space travel, 0 point energy, replicators, constant creativity. Like you'll be able to create whatever you want. Starfire, you guys are still hitting it off, huh? Good, man. You should meet each other. I mean, what do you have to lose? Let's say you don't like each other, but at least you tried. You have to try, man. That's all about priming the law of attraction pump. You gotta be in it to win it. You gotta do stuff. You have to make stuff. Milk and honey is your vision. Beyond milk and honey, man. I got milk and honey now. I want to just show you something because to me, I'm thinking like I'm reading all this stuff, and it is like Tomorrowland it is happening. They're talking about Jasora. I mean, I have so much to share, and I will share it. But before I share it, I want to tell you my initial thought about all this. I was working on we're building a house for our well right now, a little well house. I can't afford at this point. I don't feel like I can really afford plywood, right? But I have tons of very, long pieces of lumber. So when I'm thinking that, I mean, this came to me today when I was working, that we're going to have replicators. Maybe I took when we eat together, we usually have now, like the last couple of days, we've had fruit salad at about 10, 11 o'clock, and then we take a break from work to have fruit salad, and then we have like a steak, and I have vegetables. Daniela just has a little bit of steak about later in the afternoon. Today was like 5 o'clock, but so I wanted to show you. So a couple in the making. Yes, love in the air. I think so. Starfire and Wade. You need to be. We need to be in relationships. Okay, so let me just show you. Oh, my battery is running out. Okay, let me just show you what we created in one day. In one day, we created this, and admittedly, it's a little bit sloppy, but I don't care. Look at this. Okay, so we created this little triangular well house out of lumber that I have. And we don't have any really significant pieces of plywood. So I said, well, let's just do it with the lumber we have. We're going to put a door here. You can just see it's simple. It's a simple triangle, but it'll protect the well from the wind and from freezing and that sort of thing. So we did that yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Wait a minute. Yesterday we did this. We had to replace a window in the bathroom. We had to replace this window because the other window had leaked and there was moisture in between the panes. So I knew that it would never give us a clear picture, a clear look out. So we replaced this. It was a much smaller window. We replaced it with a bigger window. But these are the things that we've been doing in the last 2 days. And I just, I thought to myself, well, wait a minute, we're going to have replicators now. And I really, my first reaction was like, you mean I can't just build the way I want to build? I have to have a replicator, so that was my thought. It's like, what about just building the old-fashioned way? I mean, I love doing this. I love, we're building out of like this. This was a brand new Anderson sliding glass door that was never used, that I think I got it for $25. It's the pristine piece of glass ever. Lunch. I was there in 64, the World's Fair. Right. So you were there in 64. Okay. So me too, man. And didn't you feel like it was like we're about to go into the Jetson age? I mean, that's what it seemed like to me. Anyway, I just wanted to show you this and to explain that my first reaction is that, well, replicators are all fine and dandy, but I really like to build things out of whatever material I have. It just brings me so much joy. Anyway, let's go back. Now I'm going to open this video with something from Daniel R, Guardian Daniel R, that I think is a brilliant summary of what's happening now. And again, we're gonna get into Elon's Singularity, the replicators, the all these things are probably coming. Trump has basically taken over. He is now the policeman of the world. He's taking out these bad guys. This is like, drip, drip, drip. Now it's like flood. It's like complete. He's saying to the Iranians, you mess with those people. Those are our people. Those are human beings. You can't mess with them because you're in another country. We will come and we are going to send in our boys to protect the people in Iran. This is after just blowing up their this nuclear thing. It wasn't the people of Iran. This is the deep state government. It's not even the government of Iran. This is a deep state operation, just like Maduro. I think it was all set up with Maduro. I think it's like it's the whole thing reads like a comic book to me. I had Greek yogurt and blueberries at 3 o'clock. And you're hungry now? Yeah, we're probably going to do eggs in a basket later. We don't usually eat bread, but we scored some sourdough bread in Vegas, so we'll probably make eggs in a basket. That's like one of the things, one of the three things I'm able to cook. But yeah, love is in the air, man. Hi from Canada. Hey, Betty Murphy. Zilla 111. I was thinking last night about Replicator. How does this work? So a replicator, apparently you throw your garbage, whatever stuff you're tired of, you don't want, your toaster oven, whatever it is, you throw it into the replicator, and the replicator takes the molecules, and then whatever you want can pop out of the replicator. So you want I really want I want some flan. I want some flan with the whipped cream on it. The replicator will just throw it out at you. Or you want to tell your replicator and your AI guide, I really want to build a house in the desert. I mean, we have to build it by hand. But it will be, you'll have robots, you'll have endless creation. That's what it is for me, because to me, that's my fun. I don't watch football games. I don't drink beer. I enjoy building, like using my hands and using whatever resources I can get to build. It's just my joy right now. Did I like teaching kids? I did, except they wouldn't really let me teach what I really wanted to teach. Although when I was a substitute, I basically did teach what I wanted to teach, which is like just how to be. Okay, anyway, let me go. Like the Jetsons or Sleeper. Yeah. Interesting thought. I'm not sure which thought, but yeah, the old that I like. I'm building a well house, a triangular well house. First of all, I like to build triangles because they're very self supporting, and I'm just doing it with whatever lumber is a little bit funky. Like, and I'll never probably be able to use it for like a floor joist or something. I don't know what I'm going to be doing with my lumber, but it seems to me, just as a side point, it seems to me that silver. By the way, for me trading silver, I just go to my pawn shop. I get a much better deal, and they if they have it, they have it. It's just like, in fact, while I was standing in line, I mentioned to my friend Rosalva, who runs she and her boys run this incredible pawn shop. It's just the most wonderful. It's really my bank. I go there for, like a bank. But I said to her, I want to buy some copper. And they started talking about, and then they realized it would cost more to order copper than it wouldn't be worth it for me. While I'm standing there, and the guy who is buying, I'm buying a few pieces of silver. Actually, Daniela is buying silver, and the guy who is also buying silver said, "You want copper?" He says, "I'll sell it to you at spot." And we took down his number. And I'll probably will call him up someday when I have a little extra money and buy some more copper. But we're coming into this. XRP is going up. It's touted to go way, way up. So if you haven't gotten it, you probably should get some before it launches up. It'd be very handy with gold and silver. Yeah, you could right. You could produce as much gold and silver as you want. You're going to be sick of it. It'll be like, what do I need? Listen, I had pounds, maybe I don't know, 50 pounds of silver. I had a suitcase that I literally could not lift up. It's like, when if this like the when the turds, when the parasites go, it'll be like, how much silver do you really want? It's the stuff weighs a friggin' ton, man. I mean, I want to have a little supply of silver, but I don't want to have pounds and pounds that you have to worry about it or whatever. Anyway, we're coming into a different age. It's not going to be like that. You can get copper at Home Depot. Yeah, absolutely. I can get copper at Home Depot. I don't know what it costs. I don't know if it's comparable when it's put together as a pipe. I don't know. I'm not really I'm not lacking in that department. I bought like 5 rolls of copper. I don't need it. I don't need so much stuff. I plan to live a very simple life in a beautiful place. I don't need mansions. I don't need fancy cars. Daniela likes fancy cars, but um, whatever. Anyway, let me just read you this thing from Daniel R. We're coming into such an exciting thing here. Tons of silver removed from Venezuela. Yeah, that could be. They probably have lots of silver. I mean, there's lots of silver. You just have to. It's if like I'm thinking to myself today. I was on a kind of a roll. I was thinking, should I learn how to trade futures on Coinbase, or should I spend my time trying to find silver on my property? Either one takes a lot of work. I mean, refining, getting silver and then having to refine it, that's a big job. Sitting around trading futures or trading, that's also a big, I like to build. I'm happy building. And the thing about the building is I'm not on a crew. I'm building for myself and Daniela. We're building. This is an investment kind of. I mean, it's our house, and we need a place to live, and it's so much fun to try to put together materials that we can afford and all this other stuff. But when you work for yourself, it's joyous. I mean, I love this is the best part of my day when I'm out working with my hands and using my screw gun and my nails and my screws. And okay, anyway, let me read this thing from Daniel R. Let's it's the same I heard. It's like 200 a roll. No, well, it's all the same. Yeah, copper is copper, right? No, a roll of copper. I bought 5 rolls for like $100 something. I think it was. I don't know, but anyway, I'm pretty sure smart plumbing companies are saving copper pipes and they take it and replace them with PVC. Right, right. That could be. That could be. Um, but how much stuff do you need really? Toyota Stout, Toyota Stout. I don't know what that is. 8,000. Maybe that's like those little trucks they sell now. I maybe we'll get one for $15,000. You can get a new truck. I mean, I have a big heavy truck. Maybe I lost my Jeep. Maybe we'll just get a Toyota truck and just pay cash we're going to be rich. It's not going to even matter. Okay, let me go to this. Let me go to this thing. I'm holding up. This is just amazing to me. Okay, let's go here. Okay, this is from Daniel R. Okay, they prepared you for a collapse so you'd miss the rebirth. They taught you to fear one word above all others: collapse. They showed you images of chaos, hunger, riots, and despair. They trained your nervous system to associate the fall of a system with your own destruction. This was not an accident, it was conditioning. Because if you ever realized what collapse really means, you would stop complying overnight. A system does, like the Iranians, right? like the Venezuelans, like Nepal, like all these, Italy. A system does not collapse unless it's already rotten. Empires do not fall unless they are hollow, and currencies do not die unless they were never real to begin with. What is coming is not the end of stability, it's the end of an illusion that required your obedience to survive. Look closely at how things are breaking: banks freezing accounts, payment rails stuttering, governments printing money that buys less each month, digital systems failing more often, not less. This is not mismanagement, it is exposure. The scaffolding is being removed so you can finally see the structure underneath, and there is nothing there. They needed you distracted by survival so you wouldn't notice the transition. They needed you arguing over politics, borders, and culture while the old financial architecture quietly decayed. They needed you exhausted, divided, and afraid because a calm population would start asking the wrong questions. Questions like why money is created as debt, why interest exists on something created from nothing, why your labor never seems to catch up no matter how hard you work, why the rules only apply to you. Here is what they never planned for: awareness spreads faster than control. Let me say that again. Awareness spreads faster than control. That's what you're seeing in Iran, man. The people are aware. These these fake, whatever, these Ayatollah it's over. Once you understand that the system only functioned because you believed it, the spell breaks. This is the key to all of this. Let me say that again. Once you understand that the system only functions or only functioned because you believed it, the spell breaks. Once enough people withdraw their belief, compliance evaporates, not through violence, through refusal, through non participation, through clarity. This is why they rush new digital frameworks. This is why they talk about control, monitoring, compliance, and emergency powers. They are not building the future. They are desperately trying to replace a dying past. But you cannot patch a lie forever. What comes after the collapse is not chaos by default. Chaos only exists when people cling to what is already dead. For those who see clearly, collapse is simply a doorway. On one side, a lifetime of artificial scarcity. On the other, a system designed for human life, not extraction. And this is where the truth they buried comes back to the surface. Okay, Nasara Jasara is not a fantasy. It is the corrective mechanism to a criminal financial era. A new legal and economic framework built to dismantle debt based money, dissolve central bank control, and return sovereignty to the people. No interest slavery, no private banks dictating survival, no endless loans designed to keep you chasing. Under this system, debt is erased because it was never legitimate. Wealth is restored because it was stolen. Money is asset backed, transparent, and finite. The economy serves real production, real labor, real life, not speculation, not manipulation, not digital numbers owned by institutions that never created value. This is not about saving the old world. It is about replacing it. You are not watching the end of the world. You are watching a false world lose its grip. So when the noise increases, stay still. When the fear campaigns ramp up, breathe. When they tell you everything is falling apart, remember this: only cages collapse. Truth does not, and neither do you. This was never about surviving their system. It was about stepping into a new one. That is really beautiful. I love the way he writes. But the collapse is just the beginning. The collapse is the good news. And it's happening so fast now. We've been waiting. It's like been hurry up and wait for at least 5 years. You and I have been meeting like this almost daily, probably daily. And we've been saying, it's happening, but you can't see it yet. And we've talked about Jasara Nasara a million times, and we've talked about drip, drip, flood. We've talked about focus, focus, ascension. We've talked about the Q posts endlessly. And now it's happening in real time. Trump is talking about going to Cuba and just getting rid of those. I mean, this is the action of a sane president. This is what should have been happened 100 years ago. But the CIA, these deep state Nazis, this criminal organization has been in control without us even knowing it. And now that we know it, it's just like, see you guys later, man. It was nice. Don't come back. I mean, I'm still seeing chemtrails. They're not totally gone yet. The economy hasn't collapsed yet, but they're desperate. If it even is them, this could all be theatrics. This could all be a big movie. I don't know. I don't really care because at the end of the day, it's all about collective consciousness. Flying cars, yeah. It's all about what we believe to be true. So if we believe that we're imprisoned by a cruel and heartless system, which is true, you will get more of that. If you decide to not comply and not really believe in their systems, you could be building the house of your dreams. Just saying. I mean, listen, according to the system wise, Danielle and I wanted to move to a drier climate, a place where the air was better than New York City. We looked on Zillow. We went out to Arizona. We met people. We met real estate agents. We looked at houses. There was a house in Prescott. I think they were asking $350,000. It was perched on a cliff. It was the size of like my RV, maybe like twice as big as my RV, which, for $350,000, and it was right next to a bunch of other folks. We looked at place after place, and I was like, I liked the $1 million houses. That really appealed to me. I said I could live there, but I didn't have $1 million. And then it just came up. I just saw this property. I didn't know it was in the middle of the desert. I didn't know it was in the mountains, 8 miles on a treacherous dirt road from the highway. But I love it here. I just followed my, divine flow. I said, I'll buy it. And I bought it. I spent my rent money. A friend bailed me out. They helped me out. But that just put it off because I was ready to go then. I was just like, let's just get out of here, man. We'll figure it out. I had a suitcase full of silver and gold at the time. I didn't really even understand what that meant, but it was my escape plan. It was, I thought I was going to get all this money. I thought, thought this, thought that. Now I'm buying dunnage, which is warped wood that is fine for me. It's just fine. So watch the water. Yeah, it was meant to be. But I'm just saying that everyone should be just, you don't have to be like the Iranians. You don't have to dance in the streets. You just have to say, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm out. I'm cashing in. That's what I did. I took my 401k and I converted it to silver and gold, and that was it. See you later. It was tricky. Anyway, let's just go to the thoughts here, because this, what I'm seeing, it's just everywhere. Like Trump is saying, we're basically taking over the whole hemisphere: South America, North America, Canada, Greenland, Alaska. It's all ours now. It's just like common sense. They call it the Trump row, or the Don row doctrine instead of the Monroe doctrine. He's telling the countries of the world, you screw around with people, man, we're going to send in the Marines and we're going to kick your ass. The Ayatollah, really, these are just deep state. These are just the faces of the deep state that's behind them. Okay, so let's go. Let's go to the information stream. Let me just show you a few of these things. That was, yeah, Daniel R. Beautiful thought, really well written. I love his pieces. Um, Shattering the matrix. The matrix is shattering on all sides, right and left, inside and out. The entire planet is waking up to the truth. Trump was never the villain. Nothing can stop what's coming is not just a catchphrase. Okay. Beautiful. Tomorrow, yeah, that's us. We were all shot by Democrats, right? So we know that it's a deep state. It's not even Democrats. Trump, el libertador de America. I hate to pause your Venezuelan celebrations, but I have to report that right now, Iranian people are seizing and setting fire to several Revolutionary Guard bases. This is historic. Khomeini plans to exit to Moscow, man. The IRGC loses power in Iran, right? It's unbelievable. So many people are lost in the analysis of the situation because they are unwilling to consider the reality that Trump is actually a great president that knows exactly what he's doing. Americans are so used to having corrupt leaders, they don't know what good leadership looks like. The reason all the clickbait influencers continue to be wrong about Trump is because they are missing one massive piece of the puzzle. Trump is the real deal. He's not owned by anyone. And he is actually on a mission to destroy the parasites. Once you realize that, everything starts to click and all the moves and counter moves make sense. Trump is the greatest threat to the corrupt establishment, which is why they fear him so much and have been throwing everything they have at him since he came down the escalator. If you fail to recognize this reality, you will continue to be confused. Brian Cates, I love what he said. I love that he calls them this criminal enterprise. Trump very publicly told the people who really control Iran not to shoot the protesters. The people who control Iran are having the protesters shot. The transnational crime syndicate gave the order to shoot. Have people figured this out by now, that this guy doesn't bluff? The transnational crime syndicate is about to lose another rogue state. Okay, that's this phrase, the transnational crime syndicate. They do not represent a country. They do not represent a religion. They represent chaos. They represent disorder. They represent murder. They represent child trafficking. It's all lining up. D-class future proves past. We have come full circle. Venezuela is about a whole lot more than drug trafficking. People like Milley and Powell told us that back in 2020 and 2021, this is about elections. Trump just told us yesterday that we will be running Venezuela until elections can be held judiciously. It must be judicious because that is what we are all about. USA cancels all money for NGOs, non governmental organizations. Wow, it's finally over. The fraud scheme that existed around the world with organizations raking in millions from Western countries has come to an end. No more money for NGOs. The UK must do the same. Now, here we will see more progress in 2026 than in the last 50 to 100 years. Singularity. Okay, this is so amazing. I don't know. There was I had a little thing on it, but the protests in Iran have spread past the point where the regime has any chance of survival. This is a great post from Ariel. This basically means we have to throw away our old ways of thinking. This is the key to all this. The scarcity mindset will have no breathing room anymore. Once Elon Musk releases the Optimus Gen 3, you might as well forgo everything you thought was impossible. Listen, if you own digital and foreign currency, your life will become a curated reality where you bend this world to your liking. Everyone's needs or wants will be met. But pending millionaires such as yourself will have an extra edge. I did an article on this on my other platform. Optimus Gen 3 will be capable of anything: cooking, cleaning, inventing, nursing, creating, dancing, music, scientific dictionary. This will be like having your own genie. There will be nothing Optimus cannot build. You want your own replicator machine? Done. You want your own holodeck? Done. You want your own flying car? Done. You want your own spaceship? Done. This Optimus robot will basically come with this zero limitations. Of course, you will not be allowed to build anything that will harm humanity. You all have to understand, Optimus will have access to all classified documents of forbidden technology, access to all blueprints. My own contacts shared with me mind-blowing things this thing can do that will literally intimidate some from not even buying one. I will probably own at least 5. I already signed up for my orders. I'll share the link below. I may do an article later on the technical prowess Optimus will be capable of. Amazing, man. Big Bird is offline. They're talking about Maduro. Why? Because the CIA has interfered in every election around the world on behalf of their actual boss. And that is not and never has been the president. If there is interference, if their interference can't stop them out of office, they attempt a coup, or 4 of them, as they did on Trump during his first term, and then ultimately an assassination when all else fails. This has happened successfully at least 90 times around the world and has been attempted hundreds of times. All right. So anyway, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go into this particular one, but it it's so happening right now, guys. Let me just go back. Save the children. Let's see. This is my feed. How did the internal revenue breaking? President Trump plans to freeze the IRS for 90 days to find fraud, in addition to firing 45,000 IRS agents. Okay, we are closely monitoring the protests in Iran. If they kill protesters like before, we will hit very hard. This is amazing. John has a long mustache. Okay. Anyway, I don't know how is this my feed? Well, no, this is the general feed. Elon has warned that anyone using Grok to create illegal content will face consequences. Okay, but who are the Greys? What was the long-standing alliance between their kind and several of the Illuminati hybrid human bloodlines, Habsburg, Bilderbergs, Windsor, Rothschild, at the turn of the 19th century? Why is their likeness still on Federal Reserve notes? Why did they target the Kennedy bloodline post World War II? What presidential EO issued in 1963 specifically threatened the fiat debt slave system's power? Who actually set the system up? What is loosh? The truth is always stranger than fiction. Okay, so this stuff is real, man. Update: Colombia is next. Colombia President Gustavo Petro openly challenges President Trump. This is all theater, man. This is all a movie. All potential experiences exist as electromagnetic signatures in the quantum field. There are an infinite number of potential electromagnetic signatures for genius, for wealth, for freedom, for health that already exists as a frequency pattern of energy. If you could create, um, if you could create an electromagnetic field by changing your state of being, which matches that potential in the quantum field of information, it is possible that your body would be drawn to that event, or that event would find you. I mean, this is like so out of the box, man. Here we go. Prices at the This is comparing the price of XRP during other bull runs. You can see that we are ready, man. It is so happening. It's going up every day. Shall we talk about ancient giant trees in the book of Enoch next? Yes, because that is, they took it away from us. It's nice to have a president with balls and a first lady who doesn't, right? The party of hate, evil, and Satan. Islamic Republic, 1979 to 2026. 2026 will be the best year without the Iranian regime. All right. Anyway, Ripple will officially be recognized as a national trust bank. I support Trump and I don't apologize. Breaking: Israel's security cabinet has approved a new military operation against Iran, reportedly dubbed Operation Iron Strike. Timing and specific targets remain undisclosed. The Central Intelligence Agency toppled the United States government on November 3rd, 2020, on national TV. Dominion, man. And they did it shamelessly. Back in 2022, I explained that XRP's price was predetermined by its shareholders, including major banks and financial institutions, to reflect the size and scale of the global financial system. Okay. Oh, this is what I wanted to show. Look at this. This is this is our future. This is what, if you're American. Now we're broadcasting all over the world, but there will be everything will be broken down into reasonable kingdoms. But this is going to be the kingdom of America, or the kingdom of the United States. So we have much to look forward to. I've always wanted to go to Nunavik, Alaska, Tierra del Fuego, Antarctica, all these places. Maybe I'll get a chance. I don't really actually like to travel, but I like to talk about it. IRS is not closed. You're watching how many crypto accounts. That's just total bullshit. This is some kind of a, you know what? This is some kind of a bot. If you want to believe that the world is coming to an end, that crypto and that the taxes, it's just bullshit. There is no IRS. There's no, I don't know. Some people just can't get it. The chair is against the wall. Good night. Yeah, IRS is done. I'm ready. Break the matrix and let's gain our true potential. But the thing is, if you're really ready, you don't need to ask anyone's permission. You just go. Okay, that's what I've done. I don't really connect with the Matrix very much. When I do, it's misery. It's sheer misery. They make me nuts. But generally, I'm just like, you want just repossess my car. I don't give a fuck. Take my car. They said you could have your car back if you give us $27,000. I'm like, keep the car, man. I don't need it. I got a car. It's just I don't have time for this. But I didn't pay them. They didn't have my address. I never got a bill. Whatever. I'm just saying, the elections have been a scam. It's not going to be that way. I still Kennedy has the, I mean, who cares? I just don't care. Kennedy has the Jesus bloodline. This is just stuff, man. The truth is, I mean, I have nothing against, listen, I have nothing against Jesus. If you want to worship Jesus, it's a beautiful thing. But you don't need that. Nobody's dying for your sins. You're not a sinner. You're a saint. You're already a saint. You don't need to be resolved of anything. Oh, I did this terrible thing. I flirted with a woman in public school. I flirted with another teacher. I'm damned forever. Screw that. I mean, you know, she just, if she's not into it, she's not into it. I'll see you later. I haven't filed taxes since 2018. Yeah, I don't even remember the last time I filed taxes. I just remember how much misery it was to go find an accountant and put down all this stuff and go through my phone bill and my this bill. I just said, screw it. I don't have time for that. If you believe that you're going to get caught and replicate a better car, a Jeep, yeah, a yacht, yeah, exactly right, man. Um, can't react to that unconscious. Yeah, I can't deal with it. I can't. I have no time for that. You want to be afraid. You want to feel like we got this bot that's always saying my aunt was arrested because she didn't pay her mortgage. I'm like, really? I don't know. Whatever. But yeah, I'm ready. But you don't have to get my permission. Just do it. Just do it. That's what the Iranians are doing. They're like, forget it. We don't want this government. I mean, we don't have to protest. You can just quietly leave the matrix. That's what Danielle and I've done. We live in an RV, man, and we're building a house in the middle of the desert. I bought this place cheap because nobody wants this land. Just like nobody, people aren't really hip to copper yet. But that's when you buy low. But there's all kinds of land out there. Don't settle for the first piece of land. Don't settle for 2 acres if you want 200. I want 200 acres. I want to have a big place because that's what I want. That it's I don't know why. I don't know have to explain why do I really want so much land? It's such a responsibility. Well, it's not. Nobody's taking, I mean, there's nothing going on here that's that raises alarm. We get a couple of hunters come here a few times a year. One of them came up our driveway and said hello. He was just the nicest guy I've ever met. But it's you can create whatever you want. That's what this message. That's what my message is. Do I have 10? Nick. Well, I don't know his last name, but he gets like 10 million views because he's reporting on things that are actually happening that people get involved with emotionally. I'm not interested in that. I want to see people reclaim their sovereignty. I want to encourage people to do like what I did, but in your way. I mean, this is just, I happen to have building skills. I was a carpenter for many years. So it's a no-brainer for me. I know there are a lot of people talk about tiny houses. They're expensive. I don't know. I mean, or do a tiny house. Dig a well. I mean, live. But your dream may be something completely different than this. But do it. Don't wait. Don't wait for permission. With a flying car, you could manage 1,000 acres, right? Well, I can manage 1,000 acres now. I don't have to look at every acre. It's desert, man. Everything is cool out here. I mean, once in a while they might sight a lion, a mountain lion, and then every hunter in Arizona is going to be out chasing them. But I don't have problems. I just had a dear friend, and I'm going to get this is segueing into LifeWave. I just want to talk about it for a minute, but one of my LifeWave downline people, what was it that she said? She said, um, gosh, and I can't remember, but it'll come to me. But anyway, it must have had to do with just living your dream. Live your dream. That's the basic thing. I mean, don't wait. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for your. Is the IRS really not here? No, just don't deal with them. Just don't file your taxes. Don't pay insurance. Don't go to doctors who are going to prescribe you things that aren't good for you. Just say no. Just don't comply. That's what Daniel R is saying. The deep state is collapsing, and Trump is taking them down rapidly, and Jasara is being activated. But look at what he says. He says, chill, don't let the enemy know what you're doing, and then pounce like a wild animal. This is all he's saying. He's going to Cuba. He's going to clean up Colombia. He's going to, annex Canada, Greenland. It's all going to be part because he needs it, because it makes sense. Right? We're leaving the matrix. We're leaving the world of the Monroe Doctrine and all this control and the corporate, the United States of America instead of for America or whatever. I don't know the correct, but we're coming into the promised land. Nothing can stop what's coming. The only thing that's holding us back is nothing. There's nothing holding you back. It's just, you just have to go for it. You just have to say, I'm out. I'm done with you people. I'm done with you. I don't, I have a license. I have a license. I don't have registration. I don't have insurance. I don't have health insurance. I don't pay taxes. If something comes up, like if I had really wanted to keep the car, keep the Jeep, I would have figured out a way to do it. But I almost like 27 grand, man, for that. I got to drive it for a year. It's like I paid some money and I got to drive it. So you got what you want. I got what I want. You want to take it back? Fine. No problem, man. I'll drive my big old truck for a while. In 20 years. Yeah, you don't need to comply. You're 76 and feel better than ever. Yeah, me too, man. I feel like I mean, I'm not, like when you're 20, you worry about stupid stuff all the time. I don't have worries. I just have fun things to do. It's just like I can't figure out which fun thing I want to do at any given time. There's so many fun things to do. Anyway, I think I've railed enough about this, but let me just share this quick thing about LifeWave. Don't wait for your health. Get LifeWave patches. You don't have to wait for the med bed. The med beds are coming, but in the meantime, get these damn patches, man, and be young again, and be fruitful and multiply if you can. Let me just let's see if I can just share this. Let's see. Wait. How did I go? Let me stop sharing this. But this is the vision of the future, man. It's all coming. It's all coming to pass. Let me just share a quick clip. Let's see. Where was that? Yeah, here we go. This is pretty cool. I think I like this guy.
Hi there. I've got an update on using the X39 LifeWave patch. I'll show you. I've got it on my body now, just under my navel there. So what is the X39 patch? It is a patch with certain substances in it which reflects light back into the body, something called phototherapy, which sounds fantastical. However, I have looked it up and it is a real thing. It does affect, there are legitimate, or I found at least one with a 15-second search on the internet, one, what looks to be at first glance, legitimate scientific study not attached to the company that does show a change from putting one of these phototherapy patches, specifically LifeWaves, on the body. It does do something to the body. They say, LifeWave, it upregulates your peptide production and essentially increases stem cell production. As you get older, your stem cell production decreases. Stem cells are life to the body. They allow your body to regenerate. to have its youth. If you can imagine getting injured when you were 16 years old, things heal pretty quick. When you get to my age, and I'm in my 40s, things do slow down. You notice it, injuries and whatever. So I've been using the LifeWave patch for around 3 months now. And when I started using it, I had an ankle injury and a knee injury. My ankle injury is a result of a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu lock that was applied far too hard, by an overzealous training partner. And I felt my tendon kind of, it didn't fully rupture, but there was like a clunk and a sudden increase in range of motion. And the pain from that was getting worse from, I think it was around the summer of 23 to the September of 24 when I started taking the LifeWave patch. And within a week of using the patch, the pain that was getting worse, miraculously, and it does sound too good to be true, I understand that, but I'm an honest guy, and so I'm just going to tell the truth, went. I was feeling this pain every day when I would get out of my bed and I would step, and the first two I would kind of wince and hobble. That's one change I noticed. The second is, this is going to be a quick video, by the way, so bear with me. The second is a degenerative meniscal tear in my right knee, and I could not sit with my knee in a cross-leg position like this. The lateral pressure across my knee would cause pain on the inside of the knee, and I couldn't do that. Again, within, I can't remember now, 3 or 4 weeks of starting using the patch, that went. And I could sit with my right ankle over my left knee because
Okay, so I just wanted to share that, and let me share you and thank you Ted Zisios, Ted Zisos. Thank you so much for signing up under us. We really appreciate it, man. We've lost all our incomes, and we are really trying to make a go of this, and we really appreciate it. So if you feel like it, if you want to try this incredible technology, I invite you to call Dr. Stacy. I invite you to sign up like Ted did under me. We really appreciate it. You could sign up under Daniela. I'm going to be starting a channel probably this week sometime, probably either Wednesday or Thursday. I meet with Dr. Stacy every Tuesday online. She's amazing for a half hour. But I'm going to do like this lifestyle channel on like Thursday afternoon or Wednesday afternoon with Grant and my friend Norman, and we're going to discuss like all kinds of different healing technologies, including LifeWave. But it's an amazing opportunity. But like health, wealth, you can invest in XRP, you can invest in silver and gold and copper, whatever you want. This is a time of freedom. We will be getting replicators. We'll be getting all the technology they kept from us all these years. We'll be getting it back. You won't need patches forever, in my opinion. We'll eventually have we'll be reset. Maybe the patches, maybe they will be used forever. I don't know, but life is happening. It's all up to you. Nobody can do it for you. No one is going to save you. That my only objection to like these saviors, these religious saviors, is that it gives people an excuse, at least in Yiddishkeit, that people were like, wait till Mashiach comes. When Mashiach comes, everything will be okay. Well, I said, fuck that, man. I want to have a good life now. I'm not waiting for Mashiach. I mean, why should I? Somebody else is going to save me. Somebody else is going to do all the stuff, and I'm instantly going to be enlightened by Mashiach's presence. I mean, I want to do it myself, just like with this building thing, right? With my little Danielle and I were out there for a couple hours, and let me just share it again. Let's see what happened to that. I guess I did. Okay, I didn't share my other thing, but I mean, it's like I want to do this myself. I don't want somebody, I don't want a replicator that's going to come and say, hey man, just my robot. You want a new house? Bing, it's house. I want to build it. I get pleasure from figuring things out and doing things, and it's just like this window. We changed it because it was too high. I want to sit on the throne and look out over the canyon. That's just me. And no, I don't want to tell this. Let me go back. I don't want to have to tell this. I thought I was going to get chats. Oh, here we go. I don't want to have to tell this to a builder that like I want to be able to see out when it's like I do it myself, man. It's my pleasure. But anyway, so that's it. Yes, we live in the matrix, unfortunately. No, you don't have to wait till it collapses. You're wrong. I don't agree with that, Pappy Two Bears. I love you, man. I love that you think that, but you don't have to live like a refugee. You can go out anytime you want. The whole world is collapsing, and that's the good thing. Don't stop meeting your obligations. I don't agree with you. I say fuck your obligations. This is all a criminal enterprise. Why should I pay taxes? Why should I, why? I'll pay for, I have to pay a heavy tax, a heavy like a thing every year for my get my roads fixed up by the neighborhood association. I'm delighted to pay it. I'm delighted to pay that. But I'm not going to pay taxes that are going into deep state torture dens where they're torturing children, where they're stealing our money. I'm not doing it. So gold and silver in Mexico is, yeah. I mean, there's gold and silver everywhere, and listen, it is fun. I just do it as a hobby. It is fun to go looking at rocks. I look at rocks all the time. But no, I don't believe that you have to wait. I don't have to. You like if you're waiting for the thing to collapse. That's what Daniel. As soon as you stop complying, it's gone. You don't have to live like a refugee. You can just say, "I'm not in this, man. I'm out." It may seem like it's a long way from where I was to where I am now, but it's not that. It's not that hard. I don't think I'm like a superhuman or anything. I think I was just like, hey man, let's look for the edges. Let's see if we can escape this cage. Like Daniel R says, it's the cage collapses because the old ideas are no longer useful. You're living your best life, right? But for me to live my best life, I'm just I have this channel so that I can share with people that you can do this. You got you got some gold and silver, man. Pack your bags and go wherever you want. You want to sit on the beach for a couple of years? I did. I mean, do whatever you want. Get a sailboat. My parents did. My parents didn't wait for the collapse of civilization. They spent 5 years sailing around the Caribbean. 5 years. Can you imagine? They sold their house in the suburbs of New York, and they bought a small sailboat, and they spent 5 years sailing around. They would probably still. My mother would probably still be sailing now, except they hit a reef off the coast of Mexico, and the boat went down. But they had insurance. They could have bought another boat, but after 5 years, there's like camping for 5 years on a boat. Anyway, um, yeah, I just there are a lot of people on the channel who have already escaped the matrix. It's not just me. It's a lot of people. I don't know if there are other channels like this. I think you guys should start them and just and explore it, and maybe you won't get kicked off of YouTube the way I always do. I mean, I shouldn't. Right now I'm still on YouTube, but they were supposed to let me know about months ago, like a month ago, whether or not they were going to let me be monetized. So you have a beach house. Yeah, I mean, if that's what you want, man, you should do it. You know, um, Silver is coming along nicely. Yeah, silver and XRP is going up now. So, um, not to worry, man. We got this. Anyway, let me play the little tune, and we'll reconvene, God willing, in the tomorrow. And tomorrow's Monday. Yeah. So, I really wanted to show that clip. My I guess I already got rid of it. The screenshot. I must have canceled it. But my little well house, man, made like the old fashioned way without plywood. That's to me that's like fun. It's like building a clubhouse when you're a kid. What could be more fun? A little treehouse, right? All right, here we go. Let's see. Wait, hold it. Oh yeah, let me stop sharing, and then yeah, I love you guys, man. I just want you to see. I don't want you to wait. I want you to go for it, man. Um, you can figure it out. There must be 50 ways to leave the matrix. Let's see. Okay, so let me put this on hold. Call Dr. Stacy, man, and I really appreciate everyone who supported us with that. It is huge for us to have a little bit of money. I mean, we're out of the matrix. We do what we want every day. So, but we don't have a regular job. We don't want a regular job. We want to keep doing what we're doing, and we're learning more about investing and whatever. Anyway, so here let's do the tune. But you got it. There must be 50 ways to leave the matrix, man.
Living in the city, I was paying down my bills. One flat tire and the whole thing went to hell. Credit cards for groceries, I'm deep in debt again. It's time to split this scene, walk with you, my friend. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land. Stopped paying taxes, your insurance I don't need. The medicines are killing us, hospitals grow like weeds. Move into paradise, I don't need no gassy cars. Fake news, endless wars, a satanic legal bar. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. My friends all tell me I lost control. Left my wife and job just to run down rabbit holes. But I can tell you one thing about my fall. Where we go one, we go all. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. They stole our money, but they couldn't stop the plan. Let's go together, playing with the band. Leaving the matrix, heading for the promised land. Leaving the matrix, we're heading for the promised land.
Yeah. So the hardest part when the Yidden left Mitzrayim, when they left Egypt, first of all, only 1/5 of the Yidden even left. 4/5 of the Yidden. I don't like to say Jews because there's no J in Hebrew, but 4/5 of the Jews stayed and died in Egypt rather than go for freedom. 4/5, just like the stone, the Georgia Guidestones. 4/5 of humanity, or 90% of humanity, would have been killed out by the virus and the vaccine. But the hardest part, according to the scholars, was not leaving Egypt and heading for the promised land. The hardest part was losing the slave mentality. And it says in Jewish mystic writings that God gave the Jewish people freedom from mental slavery. Now, you can't prove that by me. I mean, in terms of like my community, I left my community because they were enslaved to the matrix. So did they really lose their slave mentality? I don't know, man. But those of us who are conscious, and those of us who are in this thought stream, who understand what's really going on, that this is a transnational criminal syndicate, Satanists that think nothing about killing people. They will drive us into war every time and then finance both sides. They will sell us poisonous food. They will put chemtrails in the air. They will give you medicine that is designed to keep you sick. These are creepazoid, these are probably reptilians, these are parasites. They are bureaucrats. All the NGOs just lost their funding. So it's party time, man. And if you want to wait to get official permission, then you still have the slave mentality in my mind. It's like I encourage everyone to invest. It's not that you're going to necessarily make money. I think you will, but it's just that you are telling your soul, you're telling your narrative that you can do this, that you can control your finances. You don't have to be victimized by this scoundrel federal banking debt slave system. So too with the life wave. You can say, I don't want to go to a doctor. I want to have good health. I don't mind it. I don't want health insurance. I want to invest. I'm getting the life wave patches. You try it for yourself. I mean, it's not a quick fix for everyone. Not everyone experiences a lessening of pain right away. I do, but I've been taking them for 3 years, and I understand. But we really appreciate your support in that area. And the songs are on Rumble. Just look up "Leaving the Matrix," and the other one was "New Morning" and "Language of the Heart." They're on X. They should be on YouTube. I'll have to check. They're for sure on Rumble. But if you Google any of these songs, you can at least get the M whatever it is. I don't, I think I put "Language of the Heart" and maybe the second song on Spotify or something. I that's just Matrix to me. I don't know. Selling my song. I don't make any money on my song. It's just I get to play. In fact, YouTube gives me a copyright strike every time I play my own song. That's your beautiful AI at YouTube, man. Oh, it's a copy. I can't monetize the video because I played my own song because it's a copyright. I mean, what the hell is wrong with these people? But anyway, we're leaving the matrix. We're heading for the promised land. But just know that it's happening, man. It's so happening. The Iranians, the Venezuelans, he's going to go into Colombia. He's going to go into Cuba. Our whole hemisphere, the north and south hemispheres, will be American. We'll be free. We'll have tremendous Tomorrowland gadgets to play with. Or you could be like me and you just say, "Hey, man, I could get a replicator to build a well house. I really want to build it myself." But I'm a carpenter, so that, it might be different for somebody who doesn't have the skills. But maybe you want to have your AI robot teach you the skills so you can do it yourself. It's so easy now. The tools are so amazing now with these battery operated screwdrivers. That's all I use all day. Is I have two screw. I have a Milwaukee and I have a DeWalt. And when the battery goes out on one, I just grab the other. But I'm just putting in screws all day long. And for $50 you can buy a bucket of screws. It's a phenomenal world. To me, this is like big technology. But when the replicators come, it'll be like, small change, man. I want to have a turret. I want to have a tower on my land. I want a 5-story tower so I can look above the mountains. I mean, you'll be able to do whatever you want, but you can do it now. You want to just get into the groove. That in my experience, the manifestation process happens by priming the pump. Meaning, like now, I sold them my silver. I want to own silver, so I buy an ounce here, I buy an ounce there, and it collects. It snowballs. That's the manifestation process. You actually have to do stuff. You have to get on. You want a new house? Well, get on Zillow. Start talking to your friends. Whatever. You want a new job? Whatever. You have to prime the pump. You have to do stuff. I want to find gold and silver on my land, so I'm constantly looking around. So far, nothing. But maybe I'll find, maybe I won't. But I'll have a great time trying. But I think this is all part of priming the pump, and you could have whatever you want. And soon we'll have try downloading episode. Yeah, yeah. But you can get it. You can get the song on all these platforms. Just Google. Um, Leaving the Matrix, New Morning, and Language of the Heart. I've been procrastinating. There's a fourth song I want to produce, but I've been so busy building a house, whatever. Anyway, we got this, man. You don't have to wait. You don't have to live like a refugee. We're already well into Tomorrowland. So enjoy every step of it. And please don't beat yourself up if you're here or there. I didn't mean to attack somebody. If you want to wait for the matrix to explode, then there's nothing wrong with that. It's for me. I'm just like, it's just not for me. I've been in the matrix too long. I spent 20 years being tortured by the Department of Education. I'm just like, I'm not filling out any more forms. I'm not standing, I'm not going to be put on hold and decide if it's choice number 1 or 2 or any of that stuff. So anyway, may the force be with you. May you realize that you are force itself and that nothing can stop what's coming. It's a done deal. May source be with you. May you realize that you are source itself. And let's get out there with a big smile on our face, with joy in our hearts, and